One well known football analyst says it's over for Lincoln Riley at Southern Cal. Is it? Or is it hyperbole? I think it was a little over the top myself, but we'll weigh the pros and the cons. Locked on Big Ten starts right now.
You are Locked On Big Ten, your daily podcast on the Big Ten Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Big Ten. I'm Craig Sheeman, coming up on 40 years as a sports talk show host and play-by-play announcer. And I want to thank you for making us your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. As playoffs wind down, the sports stop sporting like we want them to. But this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers, include you, with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. Visit FanDuel.com/locked on and get started. So is there a hot seat at USC? Plus, we have some recruiting news. Maryland and Penn State going for the same guy. And our Tuesday tweets you want to hang around for. And I'd like to hear from Trojan fans on this one especially. But is Lincoln Riley already on the hot seat at Southern Cal? No. Right? College football analyst Paul Feinbaum said as much recently. He said after 2 years, it's over for Riley. He's lost control. He's stuck in a downward spiral. Just as USC is joining the Big Ten, he says it's a wrap. He's done. It's over. I mean, ouch, right? My first reaction was a little harsh from Finey. Maybe a little hyperbolic, actually. But this is college football, and stranger things have happened. So let's look at the situation at Troy. In 2022, when USC needed a head football coach, and they needed to make a splash to replace Clay Helton, everybody was still living in Pete Carroll's shadow at this time over there. So USC decided to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at Lincoln Riley and shock the college football world by getting him to jump from Oklahoma, where he was successful, and come to Southern Cal. At Oklahoma, Riley made a name for himself as a winning football coach, kind of an offensive genius, and a Heisman Trophy quarterback whisperer, if you will. He won 4 straight Big 12 championships there from 2017 to 2020, and he was the Big 12 Coach of the Year in 2018. Regarding the quarterbacks under his tutelage, Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray won Heisman trophies at Oklahoma, and Jalen Hurts also played from one season, pretty impressive in his own right. You know, he really had it rolling when he left for the USC job. I was surprised at the time. I was shocked. A lot of us were. He could have stayed in Oklahoma forever and been known as one of the greatest coaches of all time and just keep running the score up over there and trying to outscore people. Defense was a problem there, just like it is at USC. It's part of the game he needs to work on. More on that in a minute. But I thought the jump to USC was a little strange at the time. In fact, fairly or unfairly, I'll admit this, I accused him of actually leaving Oklahoma because they were on the verge of announcing that Oklahoma was going to jump to the much more competitive SEC. I thought he was dodging them. I thought he was parachuting to a much easier Pac-12. Only upon his arrival to the Pac-12 and USC announced that it was then jumping to the much more difficult Big Ten. So he was stuck. Ironic. Again, whether I was right or wrong, I said it. I own it. No matter who knew what or when, USC wanted what Lincoln Riley's resume offered, and they offered him $10 million a year, a guaranteed total of $110 million to move to Southern Cal. I think they threw in a house and everything. At the time, it was the most lucrative coaching contract in college football history. So with the high expectations, Riley actually did pretty well in his first year at USC. He posted an 11-3 record, and his quarterback, Caleb Williams, won the Heisman Trophy. Not bad. That's pretty much what they brought him there to do. But a down year in 2023 resulted in a sluggish 8-5 mark and a relatively regression year, if you will, for Caleb Williams. I say relative because he was still the number 1 pick in the NFL draft after last season. But some fans and some analysts like Feinbaum point out that a 19-8 record in Riley's first 2 years is not going to cut it at Southern Cal. It's just not. Now, on the surface, that statement seems ridiculous. It's a little too early still, right? I mean, just 2 years in, maybe? Not for some people. So, a big bounce back year this year in season 3 would fix everything, right? Well, sure it would. But this isn't a Pac 12 schedule he's dealing with here for USC, or even a Big 12 schedule for Lincoln Riley. This is a Big 10 schedule, and things are going to be tougher week after week after week. And to top it all off, they've got a couple of non-conference games that are pretty brutal on the schedule this year. You know it if you're a USC fan. There's a couple of tough ones to win on there. The first one is LSU right out of the box at a neutral site. And then there's the season finale against Notre Dame. At least that one's at home this year. But let's say hypothetically, just for the sake of this conversation, that they're 0-2 in those games, the LSU and the Notre Dame game. Let's say worst case scenario, they lose at Michigan and at home to Penn State. All right. Is Trojan fan happy with an 8-4 record? Most schools will take that and be happy. But the 4 losses won't get USC in the playoffs. You get 4 losses, you're not getting the playoffs, even if it's the high quality of teams that they would lose to under this hypothetical situation here. That also means that now 3 years into the 10-year deal for Lincoln Riley, he would be 27-12 going into a bowl game. That's almost a 70% winning percentage. I don't think anybody's firing Lincoln Riley at that point. So I think Feinbaum, with all due respect, was a bit hyperbolic in his commentary there. But you never know. And look, Miller Moss may come out and be a great quarterback, and Riley will add to his reputation as a developer of Heisman Trophy quarterbacks under his tutelage. And of course, his defense is going to have to get a lot better. They say they're working on it. They changed the coordinator. They got some transfers to come in, but he has largely ignored defense his entire career as a head coach at Oklahoma and USC, just outscore people. I don't know that it's going to work in the Big Ten. I really don't. But we can't wait to see USC in the Big Ten. That's the good part here. Everybody in the Big Ten, I think, is pretty excited to have the Trojans be part of the conference, and Lincoln Riley is going to be a part of it. So we'd love to hear your comments on this, especially USC fans, and how you feel about this. I mean, are you getting a little edgy here about the coaching situation? Or are you like, hey, we're good. We're going into the Big Ten. We think we're going to do well. We've got a good coach in Lincoln Riley. Miller Moss is going to be a great quarterback. Maybe that's your mindset going into the season if you're a Trojan fan right now. Love to hear your comments on all that. You know, we're on Twitter at X at Talk Big 10 number 10. Also, you can see our scroll on the bottom. That's our website, talkbig10number10.com. Get yourself some USC swag, some shirts, some hats, some pennants over there, or your favorite team if you're not a USC fan. It's all right there. Plus, all of our podcasts are there as well. But we'd love to hear your comments. Now, by the way, if I may, I've never done this before, but I'm going to say something. 95% of you who comment on YouTube are fantastic. Even if you disagree with me, you guys are fantastic. But I guarantee you right now, it always happens on a subject like this, that I'm going to get a handful of you that will come after me because you think I said Lincoln Riley's getting fired this year, when indeed it was Paul Feinbaum that said he's on his way out, and I'm commenting on that, pros and cons. Listening comprehension. Reading these commenters, there's going to be only about 5% of them that are like this, but it's happening more and more. Sometimes I wonder if people who comment actually listen to the podcast. Well, these commenters are the ones that failed reading and listening comprehension in junior high. So to those, I say, pay closer attention, watch it a second time, maybe go through it a little bit, take notes, then you can come after me. The rest of you, you're doing great. Fantastic. Whether you agree or respectfully disagree, keep doing what you're doing. Absolutely love it here on the podcast. So keep it coming. All right. And by the way, if you like what you see here, and many of you claim to do just that, subscribe here and be part of the Big Ten Club and the Give and Take. And you can follow Locked On Big Ten wherever you get your podcast. That way you get the latest episode of this podcast as soon as it becomes available each and every day. Penn State and Maryland are going after the same receiver. There should be an announcement by Friday. So we're going to take a look at recruiting and some sweet signings for the Hawkeyes. Good week there. That's all coming up right here next on Locked On Big Ten. FanDuel. Look, we all love sports. We don't ever want them to stop. But as the playoffs have just wound down from the NBA, Stanley Cup, we get fewer games, right? And the sports aren't sportsing like we like them to, as we say. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going wherever I want, whenever I want. All I have to do is open up the app and just dream up bets anytime if I'm in the mood there. And I'm always in the mood. So this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. So head on over to FanDuel.com/locked-on and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. I got a 4-teamer here for you. We're going to put together a 4-team parlay. Let's see if we can all make a little something here. All right. Phillies over the Tigers, Yankees over the Mets, Dodgers over the White Sox, Royals over the Marlins. Put all 4 together in a parlay. Let's see what happens. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Well, thank you all for making Locked On Big Ten your first listen every day, especially you everydayers out there. Meanwhile, again, be sure to subscribe. Just click the button, and that's it. On YouTube, you can share and follow and like Locked On Big Ten, your team every day. And again, don't forget to check out our website for shirts, hats, t-shirts, all that stuff right there on Locked On Talk Big Ten, talkbig1010.com. All right. We look like we have a battle off the field between Penn State and Maryland. James Franklin at Penn State, they're always on the lookout for good wide receivers. Jeff Exenor out of Maryland is a target for the Nittany Lions, and he is expected to announce his commitment on Friday. Those that predict these things are saying that he will pick Penn State. But he's also a target for Mike Locksley and Maryland, and they are working hard to keep him in state. This weekend, he visited the Terps for the 4th time. There is some interest here. Although he also visited Penn State the first week of June. He's got great size. He's 6'1", 215 pounds, regarded as the best wide receiver in the state of Maryland. So we will see Friday. This is going to make an announcement. All right. Connecticut-based cornerback C.J. Bell has committed to Kirk Ferentz and Iowa following his official visit with the Hawkeyes. He's a 6'1" lockdown corner. They like those kind of guys over there at Iowa. He had offers from Rutgers, Wisconsin, Notre Dame, Penn State, Boston College, Minnesota, North Carolina State, Maryland, and Tennessee. This kid could have gone wherever he wanted. His high school coach thinks he's the best corner in the Northeast. So it's been a good week, but more for the Hawkeyes here. They also got 6'6", 280-pound St. Louis native offensive tackle Lucas Allgaier. He's going to Iowa as well. He made his official visit from Iowa this past weekend. His cousin Nick Allgaier played baseball for the Hawkeyes. His uncle Ken played football for Hayden Fry. The name sounds familiar to you. He's a 4-star recruit. He's had offers from Kansas State, Northwestern, Washington, Nebraska, Ole Miss, Iowa State, Miami, Washington, Cincinnati, North Carolina State, Michigan State, Kansas, among others. A lot of people want him. Going to go to Iowa. It was in high demand. But he should fit right in with those big, huge, strong offensive linemen that the Hawkeyes used to like to get on a regular basis, right? And Indiana first-year head coach Curt Cignetti, he keeps signing players. Bloomington, he landed 3 more commitments for 2025. Defensive lineman Keyshawn Calhoun from Ohio, 6'4", 245 pounds. He's a 3-star. They also landed 3-star Kokomo, Indiana product Andrew Barker, who's staying in state. That's a good get, 230-pound tight end. And edge rusher Tristan Abram. He's 6'4", 225 pounds. He's a 3-star linebacker from St. Louis. And he announced he's coming to Bloomington, and he had offers from Kansas State, Boston College, Kansas, and Memphis. These days, anytime we talk about recruiting, we give a shout out to our friends at LinkedIn Jobs. Every new potential hire can feel like a high stakes wager for your small business. That's why LinkedIn Jobs helps find the right people for your team faster and for free. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnCollege. Terms and conditions apply. Got some news out of Northwestern. You know, we've talked about how they're redoing their football stadium, literally knocking it down and building a brand new one. Northwestern just shared some new renderings of the new stadium and how it will look. Of course, this is an $800 million project, and it'll be the new Ryan Field. It's beautiful. and it's purple. A lot of purple. Looks good. Kind of remind me of looking like the Minnesota Vikings stadium a little bit, just from the renderings, although not domed like that. But if all goes well, the Wildcats will be playing the 2026 season in their new home. And until then, it'll be lakeside along the shores of Lake Michigan on campus in front of about 15,000 fans sitting on the old bleachers. Should be nice and cozy for the next couple of years. And then they're going to have a really nice stadium to go to if it comes out anything like those renderings for the $800 million stadium for Northwestern. Hey, I want to ask you, do you watch a lot of daytime sports TV on Fox Sports, FS1, ESPN, all the shouting and the talking over each other? Make the switch to Locked On Sports today. It's a free 24/7 streaming channel program for you every day to bring you the biggest stories without all the screaming. Locked On Sports Today brings you can't-miss analysis, opinions, and news, streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app. It's part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. All right, you know what we like to do here? Tuesday tweets. Got a bunch of them. I can tell you guys are getting excited for football season. It's coming up right around the corner. Tuesday tweets next, right here. See if you made the list on Locked On Big Ten. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at all the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available to U.S. customers. All right, it is time for our Tuesday tweets. Always love this. Always, by the way, follow us on Twitter at Talk Big Ten, number 10. Probably follow you right back. And each week I go through there and find some amusing stuff. We like to put it here on the show, or interesting stuff, and I like to put it here on our podcast. So let's do that. I'm going to put it full screen in case you are audio only. And by the way, we recognize there's a lot of people that are on listen on audio only through their favorite podcast app. We get it. So we try to be as complete as possible, whether you're watching video or listening on audio. So we'll put this on full screen here. And it's a Michigan football player on the right and on the left. Most offensive linemen by school currently on NFL rosters. This is from at mama_stray. She says, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Hashtag go blue. Michigan by far has the most. 14 offensive linemen are in the NFL on rosters right now. LSU and Oklahoma and Notre Dame and Wisconsin are next at 11. Alabama, Georgia, and TCU with 10 each. Ohio State up there with 9, and Texas A&M with 9. But yeah, Michigan, what are they known for? Big linemen, offensive linemen, and 14 of them playing on Sundays. All right, here is one from at Alejandro. It's a picture of Jaden Mangum, 6'2", 185-pound transfer from Michigan State. He's at Michigan State, a safety there, and he has flipped and transferred and officially enrolled at Michigan. We always talk about that. It's always interesting. A Michigan State kid going to Michigan or vice versa, or an Ohio State kid going to Michigan. Always wonder how those players are always received, or coaches do it too. You know, people move around, but going to your arch rival, that's got a little something extra on it. Some people don't like that, but I guess you got to do what you got to do. What's best for you. Here's one more for Michigan at MGoJD Blue, running back, 4-star running back. Donovan Johnson is committed to Michigan. Go Blue. Here's a picture of him here. Donovan Johnson committed, wearing his IMG jersey. One more. Here's Swanky Wolverine. He's always good. I like this one. Things are going well recruiting-wise for Michigan. Michigan football recruiting, and a picture of the space shuttle with Michigan logos all over it, blasting out of this world. So Michigan recruiting out of this world, sky high, flying high, whatever you want to say. There it is. All right. Here is from at Big Ten Baseball. Any plans tonight? This would be from Monday night. Hashtag at Husker Baseball. Hashtag Big Ten Baseball. It is a picture of Cade Povich, Spencer Swallenbach, and Matt Waldron all starting at the big leagues on this night. Got you pictures of them in their Orioles, Braves, and Padres uniforms, respectively. But yeah, Nebraska well represented in the big leagues on the mound. All right, here we go. This is from at College Football Kings. Best stadium song traditions in college football. I like this. Here they are. Starting off with Virginia Tech. They're not like ranked, but they are in order. Virginia Tech is top. Enter Sandman at the beginning of the game. That is pretty intense. That is pretty awesome. That might be on the bucket list. West Virginia, Take Me Home Country Roads. Of course, John Denver from West Virginia originally. Alabama with Dixieland Delight. Florida Gators always play I Won't Back Down. Tom Petty. He's from that area, Florida. Tennessee, of course, Rocky Top. That's a classic, as is Wisconsin's Jump Around. You got Kerncraft 400 for Penn State. And Mr. Brightside for Michigan. They always play that. So there are just the rest of the best of the rest, if you will, according to College Football Kings. Getting the crowd juiced up with a great song at just the right time. Great traditions at these football stadiums. Here is from at Badger Enthusiast. It's a short TikTok video out of Camp Randall on game day, sold out. He says here it's Saturday morning. You hear this intro, and it's the beginning of the game with Gus Johnson welcoming the audience to the game. He starts talking. The Badgers are ranked high and about to absolutely throttle a ranked team. Life is good. I need this back in my life, is what it says. Now, I have a question. Do you just need some Saturday football in Wisconsin back in your life, or do you need Wisconsin ranked and playing college football on Saturdays? We'll see. We talked a lot about Tyler Van Dyke the other day. We'll see how they do with Luke Fickell and company in year 2. Here is one from at Stat Mamba. It is a picture of Caitlin Clark in her Indiana Fever jersey. Of course, the former Iowa Hawkeye. Caitlin Clark is the first rookie since 2009 of the WNBA to have different kinds of double-doubles. A double-double with points and rebounds, and a double-double with points and assists. She really does it all. Yes, she does. Here we go. This is from at Elliot Clow. It says, breaking news. Iowa has landed the commitment of 3-star corner out of St. Thomas More and Oakland, Connecticut, Charles Bell. Yeah, we just mentioned that, CJ Bell, a few minutes ago. Here's the actual tweet and photo of him and the logo for 2025. Really nice to add to the hashtag Hawkeye secondary. He chose Iowa over offers from programs like Notre Dame and Penn State. Yes, he did. Here's one from at Big Ten Football. They call them the Cardiac Cats for a reason. It's a picture of, it's a video of Northwestern celebrating a touchdown. This one happens to be from the Minnesota game. They were down 3 touchdowns. I think it was 21-0. They were down in that game and came back to win, part of their magical 8-win season last year. Here's one from at College Football Report. EA College Football 25 is going to be releasing some information this week. Tuesday, today, they're going to rank the toughest places to play. They're going to rank them. On Wednesday, they're going to have the sights and sounds, do a little deep dive there. On Thursday, they're going to release their rankings for top offenses and defenses in college football. And Friday, the overall team power rankings. We will have our power rankings tomorrow as well, so tune in for that. Here's some Ohio State love at Barstool Ohio State. Boom, Zion Grady has committed to Ohio State. Nice picture of him overlooking the stadium, the horseshoe, if you will. I like that. That's some good artwork there. And here's another one from Ohio State from at the Scarlet and Gray, 2025 5-star recruit David Sanders Jr. on his official visit to Ohio State this weekend. All right, so there's the latest. And that is it, our tweets from the week. You want to add a tweet, hit me up. Follow us on Twitter at Talk Big 10, number 10. Don't forget to hit us up on YouTube with the comments. And don't forget to follow us on our website and find your swag there and all of our podcasts. Buy a shirt or a hat. Get ready for the upcoming season. Get yourself decorated with the right attire at talkbig10 number 10.com. Those are the ways to reach us and be part of this podcast behind the scenes. And before you go, be sure to subscribe and follow this podcast right now on your favorite podcast app, and you'll get the latest episode of Locked On Big Ten as soon as it's available each and every day. Expect to hear from you USC fans on the topic today. Meanwhile, watch another episode of Locked On Big Ten, if you will. Tell your friends about us, if nothing else. I'm sure you know a Big Ten alum or friend or family member. Let them know we're out here every single day for you. And when you're done here, don't forget to check out our friends from Locked On and the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube called Locked On Sports Today. You can subscribe and listen there as well. All right, as always, I love our visits. Thank you for spending a part of your day with me. Always appreciate that. Never take that for granted. But I can't wait till we talk again tomorrow right here on Locked On Big Ten. I'm Craig Sheeman. We'll see you next time.